Hi guys, Amber here. Welcome back. Now, this is the return of In Conversation with ATF. I haven't done an episode in a while, so we're starting things out again with a bang. And when I say with a bang, I mean with the guest I've wanted to interview for the longest time since I started this series. My guest is best known for voicing Arcee in Transformers, Flim Flam in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, Princess Paw Paw in Paw Paws, that's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Grandma Spankenheimer in Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. What a good film that was. I watch that every single Christmas. That's such a good film. Who else is there? Yes. Yeah. Actually, it is a good one. Amanda Shepherd in Friday the 13th, The New Blood, live action. Yeah.
I know I got killed in that one at the end.
Yeah.
I made it to the end.
Wow. I was like, what? It's just so cool just to see voice actors in live action roles. Actually, I've just remembered I'm doing a video on something like that. I will add you to the list of it. And
okay.
Yeah. And
I'd love it.
Definitely, yeah.
Many of us never didn't start in voiceovers. I was always an actor, and of course, I'm from Minnesota, little state in the Midwest, and I had couple learning disabilities, and I was in speech therapy until I was 16 years old, and everybody, I said little wed Wooster went to the little wed barn, and I had a bit of a stammer. And, back then they didn't know what it was. They thought maybe I was a little slow or whatever, but I was in this special needs class. And finally the teacher called my parents and said, I think Susie is really smart. There's something else going on. And they found out back then, that I was dyslexic and had a bit of a speech impediment. And so I got into the regular class and had tutors and the whole thing. And no one thought I could make my living reading, giving the illusion that I'm not reading, acting, giving, so I went to Stevens College in Columbia, Missouri. I wanted to be a Broadway star and a television star, and I wanted to act, I wanted to do Shakespeare and all that stuff. So I came out on a talent program called Screen Gems, and it was during the time of Karen Valentine and the Sally Fields and the Flying Nun, and they wanted me to do a pilot called Gidget Grows Up, and I would be Gidget. So that got me to Los Angeles, and I had never heard of a voiceover. And my agent called me one day and he said, if you were the Pillsbury Doughgirl, how would you sound? I went, what are you talking about? He said, well, the Pillsbury Doughboy, Paul Frees, is looking for a Doughgirl for Pillsbury. And I said, I don't know. Hi, I'm Poppy, the Pillsbury Doughgirl. And the timing was right. They had audition people in New York, people in Chicago, people in Minneapolis, LA, and I think they were sick of auditioning, and I came in at the right time at the right moment and got the job, and that's what got me into voiceovers.
Woohoo! And you've also voice directed, and my guest has voice directed many cartoon shows. Now, I don't have all of them listed, but I'm going to try and go through some of my favorites. So, okay. James Bond Jr., Handy Manny, Clifford the Big Red Dog, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Magic School Bus, Curious George, the Dino Babies, my personal favorite. I used to watch it as a kid. The Tick, and my guest has also worked with the likes of Scatman Crothers, John Ritter, Henry Winkler, Lily Tomlin, Frank Welker, Peter Cullen, Corey Burch. He's voice directed so many brilliant people. My guest is Susan Blue.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Amber. I'm thrilled that you're interviewing me. I mean, it's a real pleasure.
I'm thrilled as well. I've wanted to talk to you for the longest time. Oh, it just feels so
Here I am.
Nice. It just feels I'm like, someone pinch me, please. I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel real. I'm just so happy right now. I can't tell you how happy I am right now.
Well, you're making me that my head is that my head is getting exploding and I won't be able to get out the door when I leave.
Oh.
I'll have to be humbled.
Oh, that's so
I am. I'm
sweet.
greatly humbled. Thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
great to be here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure to have you on the ATF channel. Definitely. I mean, everyone, like, I have a few people lined up for interviews. I can't remember off the top of my list because there's a big list. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I just wanted to quickly say, as I said, you've worked with Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, and I have as well, but not really worked with them, I guess. Spoken to them, yes. As I said to you before, I have had Galaxy Con chats with Frank and Peter, but with Corey, I know everyone says he's a private person, but he helped me with my Bill Scott documentary. I contacted him and people were like, oh yeah, he won't respond. He's very private. He doesn't do interviews at all. And then his agent got back to me and he was like, Corey wants to do an interview with you. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, that's fantastic. Corey. I love Corey.
I love him. And
He's such a good man.
I know. And so we got an interview set up and I felt like crying as soon as the interview. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Isn't he great?
He's great. We ended up talking for 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, how did that happen? We haven't spoken since earlier this year though, but you know, he likes to keep himself to himself. So
he would show up, you know, he'd come in, he was never late. He was just a consummate performer. And, you know, when I was working as a voice actor with him, we just had so much fun. And then he had so much respect and kindness for me when I became a dialogue director, and really cheered me on, you know, because being an actor with all these guys and then all of a sudden being on the other side of the glass directing them, I had to earn respect, you know, I had to earn it. And they were all great. They were all fabulous to me.
I was going to ask you, what was it like just to go from voice director? No, sorry. Voice actor to voice director, because you obviously were the voice of Arcee in Transformers. Then you ended up voice directing Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Transformers Animated, where you also returned as Arcee, and you did the first 3 episodes of Transformers Prime as well.
Yes, I did. That was a long gig, starting with voicing to voice directing. You know, when I did Beast Wars, it was great because I would go to Vancouver, Canada, and direct it up there. And the Canadian actors were phenomenal. And so they didn't really see me as a voice actor. They saw me as a director, you know, so that was great. But with my first directing job was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the way I got that is Fred Wolf, who used to be Murakami Wolf, and then Fred Wolf, who had the franchise to the animated series Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, had asked all kinds of people if they wanted to direct this little 5-episode series. And everyone went, no. And so he knew that I wanted to direct, and I was a friend of his, and you know, he said, nah, just stay a voice actor. You know, that's where you belong. And I went, no, I want to direct. And so he called me and he said, okay, I'm going to pay you this amount of money. Do you want to direct this little show? It's probably just going to be 5 episodes. And that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so I went in and had to direct Rob Paulson, Michael Townsend Coleman, Barry Gordon, Renee Jacobs,
Pam Clark,
James Avery, Pam Clark, you know, and I was nervous, but I just knew I'd worked with all the directors in town. I kind of, I stole with love from their processes. I eliminated what I didn't think worked, and I put my own spin on it. And it was just a natural for me, you know, to move into that part of a career. It was just a natural. I just loved it. I kind of loved being the conductor, you know, steering the ship.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you said, you worked with James Avery, Uncle Phil himself from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Totally.
Wow,
Totally. Yeah.
such good celebrities you've been working with.
I really did.
I'm floored. I'm just floored by the list, honestly.
Wow. Well, I'm a little older now, a little wiser. So,
Are you still
yeah.
voice directing today?
You know, I would on very special occasions. I ended with Lost in Oz, and it won the Emmy. It was on Amazon, did it, and it was on Amazon, and it was a wonderful series. And we did 26 episodes, I believe, Lost in Oz, and it was for great guys. The producers were just great guys, and they called me up and they said, we want you to direct this. And they knew my history, and I knew it was going to be fantastic. And I did it. And I told them, I said, I'm really trying to kind of slow down. There are other things I want to do. I want to write. Not that anyone is going to be interested, but I want to do my memoirs. I've got a lot of personal things I want to talk about and create, because I think they'd be good stories. And so that's really what I wanted to do, but they got me out. They got me to LA and to direct this last series. And, I would do it again, but under real special circumstances. Because Amber, I did it for years. And I got out when the going was good, when I was still partially in demand. I don't know what you call it, but the younger people are doing it now. I can kind of sit back and enjoy my life in other areas and relish the times I've had. And
yeah,
I'm still very in touch with my agent, Natural Talent, Donna Felton and Kelly Calder. They're great. And I think, if I pick up the phone and go, okay, they'd hustle for me. But I'm just, Amber, I'm not there. Somebody said to me, how can you not do what you were doing? Animation, cartoons. I said, if you've done anything for 40 years, you're going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Wow. And you actually did do a voice role recently. You were in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You were one of the counselor, big statue things along with Frank and Peter.
I did it with Frank and Peter.
I still have a video of it on my phone. I'll have to try.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have it saved.
I never saw it. I want to, maybe will you send it to me? So I can see it?
Of course I can. Yeah. Well, I might as well play a little bit for you now because I have it saved somewhere in my phone. But yeah, whilst I try and find that, I'm gonna ask you another question.
Yes.
Now I've heard, well, okay, I haven't heard, that kind of just came out of nowhere. One of my friends wanted me to ask you, what was your relationship like with Wally Burr? Because you worked on Transformers with him. He was a voice director. You're a voice director. What was your relationship like with him?
It was always great. I loved Wally Burr. He was very influential in getting me the part of Arcee and Gem, truly outrageous Gem, all of that.
You were, I completely forgot. You were Stormer in Gem.
I was Stormer and Gem, and I think there was a talk show hostess named Lindsay. I played her on Gem. But yeah, he and I had a real kinship. And it's funny because I know some directors who were directing at the time, I think felt, why is she starting to direct and everything? And, so there was a little bit of a competition, I'm sure. I never thought that way, but I putting myself in their shoes, I could feel that,
Yeah.
So I really had to make the choice. Was I going to keep going out for speaking parts, or was I going to direct? And the same thing with my on-camera career. I got a call from my on-camera agent, and he said, oh my God, they're doing a new pilot they are interested in you. You must go on this to read for it. It'd be a running character on a live action series.
Mhm.
And I said, I can't. I'm directing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that day. And he went, oh no, but this is live action. I said, I know, but this is animation. And I didn't do it. 2 weeks later, on camera agent calls me up and he goes, okay, they saw a tape on you. They just want to set up a meeting. They want you for the role. I said, I can't do it. And at that moment, I had to choose. Was I going to go into live action, or was I going to not be an animation dialogue director? And I chose being an animation dialogue director, So it was a happy life.
Did you find out what show they were making?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, I think it was like Adam, a show called Adam's Rib. They were doing a redo of it. It would have been great, but what if it hadn't sold the pilot, right?
Exactly. And you could have regretted doing it. And then
I would have gotten out of directing, and they would have been angry at me for like leaving the show.
Yeah.
So then the pilot doesn't get picked up. They're angry at and so I really had to be very wise about my choice.
Yeah, I've just found the clip. I'm just having a watch of it now. Here it is. Wow. You guys should have had a bigger guest spot. I can't believe it was only for 2 episodes, and the scenes didn't even last a minute.
And the funny thing is, Rob Paulson was directing that episode.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of voice actors go from voice actors to voice directors. When you got Rob, you've got Charlie Adler, you've got Ginny McSwain.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Different people.
Yeah, it's strange. Jenny, though, mostly was a dialogue director.
She did Transformers Rescue Bots with Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had left the show by then, and that was great. Have you interviewed Jenny?
I have spoken to her over email, but she doesn't think she's worthy enough for an interview. She doesn't do any virtual stuff like that, but she said she would ring me someday just to really just talk, really. Yeah. Let me show you this. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted from this, because it's Nickelodeon. Anyone can do anything. Viacom will probably get on me, but
well, you're not making any money.
Yeah. That's Frank.
Sounds like a terrible guy. You work for him.
That's Peter.
But we will forgive you for assisting him, provided you bring him back to the hidden city to answer for his crimes.
Yes, my dear.
I love it.
Yeah, great, isn't it?
Yeah, that was fun. Getting us all together and doing that. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'll just.
Oh, good.
Literally, I had to go on one of those sites where you can try and watch shows like Kiss Cartoon or something, whatever it's called. But I had to get through so many Paw Paws just to watch that episode, and I'm glad I did. I took that sacrifice.
Oh my God.
Is that sending? That is sending. Yeah. Wow. I remember seeing a photo of you, Rob, Peter, Frank, and I don't know if it was on the same episode as you, Nolan North.
Oh, right, Nolan. Yeah. I've directed Nolan. Boy, he's a talented guy.
Yeah, I nearly met him. He came to the same convention that I met Tara at, but I didn't meet him. Oh, I didn't. It's not sending, it just kept saying sending. This is the photo I was on about, but you guys there. I can't remember who that was on there. Who was it? Anthony Ward. That's him.
Yeah.
Who is he? Off the top of my head, who is he?
You have like a photographic memory, don't you?
Yeah. I'm one of those people. I'm very smart. People with Asperger's syndrome are very smart.
You're so smart.
Thank you. I literally have tons of photos of like Frank, and like if I have some with you and Frank, I will definitely send them to you. I have some from the
I love you for that. I would love that.
You're welcome. I have some from the HasCon event that someone saved of you receiving your award up there.
Cool.
Man, oh my gosh, it must have felt so great just to be on that stage, man.
Yeah, it was just it was a high for me. It was wonderful.
I
It
bet it was.
encapsulated the whole deal. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
definitely. And you're now literally in the Transformers Hall of Fame. And wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. I wonder who's going to be putting it this year. It'll be announced when PulseCon, that is PulseCon, airs this month. I personally hope it's Corey Burton because I think he's done a lot for the franchise. He did the G1 series. He came back for Transformers Animated. He was the reason that they brought Shockwave back for that series.
Did they ask him to go to the convention?
To PulseCon, it's virtual.
Oh, it's virtual.
Yeah, so they might ask him. I don't know. It depends. I think, they do. What they do is like they make a little appearance, but it's only like for like 2 minutes or something like that. Yeah. They had Frank and Peter last year for a virtual panel, and that was probably their first ever virtual panel. And I screamed when I saw them. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's them!" You can hear my chest going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah. So the second clip is sending right now. But I just wanted to ask you, what was it like working on the Transformers movie? Because obviously there's a lot of A-listers on that film. I mean, I think you and Neil Ross were really the only voice actors who voiced the main character. Oh no, Frank Welker voiced Wheelie as well. I mean, you had Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, Lionel Stander as Cup, Robert Stack as Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, how about
Orson Welles as Unicron. Did you meet any of them recording?
I did.
Did you?
I was coming in to record my stuff because they did the celebrities separately.
Yeah.
And they did us kind of separately. We'd come in and do our lines. When I directed, I love to record a whole cast, but a lot of times celebrities don't want to record with the entire cast because they want to work themselves. And so that's the way Wally had set this up. And I was going in to record when Orson Welles was done and he was walking out. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And we met, and he was extremely nice, very short. He wasn't short, but I mean, it was just very nice to meet you and blah, blah, blah. And then on with it. And I was very starstruck.
Wow.
I mean, Orson Welles, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Cut to Judd Nelson, just a cutie. And years later, I brought him in when I was directing Transformers. I brought him in and directed him.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, that was great.
I also Eric Idle, who voiced Wreck-Gar. He did his lines from New York, but Weird Al Yankovic played Wreck-Gar in TFA. Yeah. I've spoken to Weird Al. He did an interview with me for my documentary.
I directed him.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. Wow. I was trying to think I was going to tell you something, and maybe it'll come to me later. So we'll go on. It'll come to me.
That's fine. Did you ever work? Well, I know you did work with him, but did you ever meet David Mendenhall whilst recording for the film? Because he played little Daniel Witwicky.
Yes, I did. We did meet. Just a cutie patootie.
Oh, bless.
Yes, just a cutie patootie.
That is so adorable. Yeah, because he would have only been about 11 or 12 when he recorded his lines.
He was just a youngster. I have lost contact or any kind of. I don't know what he's up to.
I think he might be a lawyer now, actually.
Good for him.
Yeah, or am I thinking of someone else? I'm probably thinking of someone else. I'm having a look at his Wikipedia. He returned to acting briefly. He has worked at the legal departments of several entertainment companies such as NBC Universal and Buena Vista Home Entertainment.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Mayim Bialik. Do you know who Mayim Bialik is? I directed her. She's been in a lot of series. You can look her up. Mayim Bialik. In fact, she played Little Bette Midler.
Oh, is she one of the new hosts of Jeopardy? I think I recognize her name.
And I directed Mayim, and she went to college became like a, scientist. I mean, she's smart and like you are. I mean, she's just this brain of but yeah, she's going to host that
so
show.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, I'm having a look at her credits. Wow.
Yeah, she's
So
done a lot
cool.
of animation.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this is probably the 7th time I've said this, but I am jealous. You've worked with so many wonderful people.
Well, jealousy is a healthy thing.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, of course. Another question I'd like to ask you is, what was it like working with two great people we pretty much lost at a young age, Scatman Crothers and Chris Latta?
Well, Chris is, God, he was just insane. He was just full of life and crazy, and he was wonderful. I loved Chris. I didn't get to know him really well, but he was a great guy. I'm so sorry he's gone. And Scatman, well, come on.
Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, fantastic.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you only did the movie with him because he passed away shortly before the film was released.
Yeah, and then and then Jazz was in the series.
Series 3, but he had no lines.
Yeah, I mix up with all the Canadian cast members and the US cast members. I mean, because I did Beast Wars and Transformers and,
Yeah, well, I've interviewed Gary Chalk for...
Gary Chalk.
Yeah, love him. So sweet.
He's so sweet. I have a funny story about Gary Chalk.
Do you?
So this is really a terrible story. I wonder he'll kill me if I tell it.
Is it by any chance? Is it the whole burp situation that he had?
Yes.
I think I remember he told me that.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah, you can tell me it from your point of view.
Okay, well, so I said to Gary, I said, I need a burp, and it'll be an extra voice, and you'll probably get more, paid more money for it. And we all kind of laughed about
this.
That.
This was for Beast Wars, right?
Yes. And I said, so I need a burp. And so he took a big swig of Coca-Cola, and he does this burp, and part of the Coke comes out on the music stand. And he sucked it back in. It's like it hit the music stand.
Oh my gosh.
And he sucked it back in. Well, I was hysterical. I mean, any kind of bodily function sounds, I get hysterical. I was crawling on the floor laughing so hard. I mean, it's a moment in time that I will always remember.
Did they use the burp in the final product?
We did, I think. Yeah.
Oh man, you should have just put a separate credit for it saying additional sound effects, Gary Chalk.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's funny.
Wow.
Did he tell that story like that?
He did, yeah. Definitely good Foley artist. You could use it for a lot of Foley sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, my cheeks hurt from smiling. You know when you smile too much and then you're just like, oh, I can't stop smiling, and then you're just trying to like go serious. But when you go serious like this, it shows I'm not interested. But when you're smiling, it looks like, oh yeah, you're having the time of your life. You're like, you don't know whether to smile or not smile. It's just
you have a great face, Amber. You should always. You don't have to smile, or you can smile.
Thank
great
you,
face.
Susie. I
You're
appreciate it. Oh, and a little fun fact for those of you at home. Susie's wife, Tanya. How do you pronounce her last name? Is it Themin? Themin. Her brother is Paris Themin, who was Mike TV in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Is that the coolest? And Tanya was an opera singer, and she was an identical twin, and they both sang opera. And oh yeah, Tanya's got a great theatrical reputation. But Paris, and he's still doing conventions, all grown up, still doing conventions, Willy Wonka conventions, and signing autographs. And, his career is his Willy Wonka career has just been resurrected. I mean, It's just great. I'm so pleased for him.
Honestly, that's so amazing. It's like linked through showbiz, like so many ways. Like you're the sister of Mike TV. You're married to Arcee from Transformers. You're like, oh, you're living the life. So
That's right.
cool. Can you still do Arcee's voice?
Arcee's voice. Well, she's very, she was very this kind of a timber, and very serious, and loved everything about what she did. Was that it? Did that kind of sound like her?
Yes.
Yeah, she was very much in here, because Wally was always trying to get me in my lower register, and Arcee was, come on, let's go, gang, kind of in there. But yeah, and sometimes if I wanted to do a little bit sexier Arcee, I'd kind of do her, I'd kind of do her in here and kind of flip my head.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's like
We all are one.
I was literally gonna watch the film tonight. I haven't finished watching the TV series. I'm up to the Key to Vector Sigma on series 2. I haven't watched past that yet. I've been so busy with college work and stuff like that, because I study performing arts. This is my second year at college. So
is it your second year? So you're a sophomore.
Yeah, pretty much. We're doing a production this year of pretty much the show that every single American watches every single Christmas. It's a Wonderful Life.
Good for you. Oh, good. Oh, that's good. I know. We watch it every Christmas.
The auditions happen next Monday.
Are you going up for one of the parts?
Yeah, Mary Hatch.
Of course.
Mary Hatch or Violet. I'm hoping to get. Yeah, do you remember? I'm not sure you remember Violet, the one who's after George Bailey, but then George doesn't like her in return, I think.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's a fun role.
Yeah, well, I will send you a recording of it when it's out, because we're performing it the first week of December, and I'm not sure, it might be streamed virtually and in person, but if I know it definitely will be streamed because of COVID. So yeah.
Do you want to be a stage actress?
I always talk about this with my mom. I personally don't know what I want to be at the moment. It changes from voice actress to on-camera actress to stage actress. I like stage acting, to be fair. It is quite.
You should encompass all of it and see where the egg lands. I mean, you're absolutely. I left all my options open until I really kind of fell into what I ultimately love doing.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, it's just making me think, is like, what if I do one profession and I don't like it, and then I move on to another one and then I don't like that one as well? Yeah, it's just essentially, I guess I might just have to do what you did, leave your options open and see what comes to you.
I was just going to say that, you keep all that open, and it's amazing. Life is all about cause and effect.
Oh yeah.
What you think is what will happen. What you think is what is happening now.
Yeah.
And you keep all that positive energy out there, and the right stuff will land. You land in the right stuff.
Yeah. Susie, I'd like to ask you, what's it like voice directing such big stars? How does it feel? Do you feel nervous? Like, with like James Avery, Henry Winkler, John Ritter, Lily Tomlin, etc., etc. So like people like that. What's it like?
Well, I've got great stories about all of them. Lily Tomlin, she had never done animation before, was creating a character, Ms. Frizzle. And all of the producers, Deborah Forte was out from Scholastic, came out from New York. They chose me as the dialogue director, and the producers came out, and Lily calls me on the phone, and she said, I come up with all these characters, but they just come to me. Miss Frizzle is not coming to me. That's not how I develop a character. And I said, come on over to my house. And she came over to my house. The producers all came over. I had a little house in Toluca Woods. And so I worked with her on the part of Miss Frizzle. And she was finding it, and it was great. And I was kind of letting her find.
Right, all of a sudden.
I know. Where are you?
I'm still here. I'm still same thing, but it's probably because my screen's really bright.
So anyway, we really kind of created the character together. I gave her some ideas, and I think led her down a very comfortable path. to feel comfortable enough to experiment and create with the character, experiment with different facets of the character. So she was great to work with. She was really wonderful. John Ritter, who I had done a on-camera episode of Three's Company years ago. I don't know if
I
you
remember someone shared a video of that on Facebook.
Yep. And John Ritter was so sweet to me. And my first wife, Cynthia Sanjay, who's no longer with us,
Oh, bless.
loved her greatly.
Oh.
She and John were good friends.
Uh-huh.
They had gone to college together.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah. And so when John Ritter, John was, we were going to the Emmys because Clifford the Big Red Dog was.
I grew up with that show, but I didn't have the we had a British dub of it. We didn't have American actors dub it.
Well, we went to New York. We flew to New York. Cynthia was with me, and John Ritter and his wife. We were walking the red carpet in together, and I remember Cynthia. You know, she was 5'11" and a beautiful, beautiful woman. We kind of looked like Mutt and Jeff together, and she was there, and she was waving to the crowd. Lots of crowd, you know, along the red carpet. It was a long walk, and people were going, yay, yay, and everything. And John turns to Cynthia and says, they're all yelling at you. They think you're a big sitcom star or so funny. They're not, because Cynthia was saying they're yelling at you, John. And he went, no, they're yelling at you. And John, we became really good friends. And I just loved John so much. I was heartbroken when he passed away.
Yeah.
Cut to Henry Winkler, who I adore, and we became really tight. And he won the Emmy, I think, for the remake of Clifford.
Clifford's Puppy Days. It was Norville the bird.
Yes, thank you.
Again,
I need you on all my interviews to I kind of thank God it's, the mind is a terrible thing. Anyway, yeah, we became very close, and so I have a picture of John Ritter, Henry Winkler, and me, and I'm in the middle, and I have it right on my desk. It means the world to me.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
I loved them. I had directed a show, and I don't think it ever aired, but it was for Universal, and it was relatively a black cast of actors, and I was the only director, the really kind of the only white person, and I loved all of these actors, and it was Rhonda Sykes, and it was Danny Glover, and it was I was nervous directing them because I don't know how they would respond to me, and they were just incredible to me, and I'm trying to think of the name of the show now, and it's out of my mind.
Was it animated? Oh, of course it was animated because you voice directed.
Yeah. But directing actors, there were some actors that I'll never forget, and I'm not going to mention names, but I had a real run-in with them, and with a celebrity, and I've always, I worked with James Garner, I worked with, big people, and we always got along. Leonard Nimoy, I directed a big show that with Leonard Nimoy, and he was great, and I never had any problems. But this one actor gave me a real problem. First of all, he was 3 hours late to the session. It was Christmas time, and there was a cast, and there was a crew there ready to film him. He comes in, he doesn't want to be filmed. So all of these people during Christmas holiday, had to pack up, go home. He gave me attitude, and I turned to my engineer and I said, well, what is this guy's story? Anyway, he walks out on me, And
Bloody cheese.
the production company, called me up and said, "What did you do?" I said, "I did nothing. Come on, I did nothing." And I was going to direct Jeff Bridges on the same story, and he was fantastic. But that happened to me once. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I shared it with my Transformer cast. I was directing Transformers at the same time, and so unbeknownst to me, they all cut out a mask of this actor. And and when I walk in from a coffee break, they're all wearing the mask of this actor and walked out on me, all of them, to 8 actors sitting with this mask. It was very funny.
Did you get the project done in the end?
I did actually. And, they didn't fire me and it was done.
Well, that's good.
But actually another director came in and did this particular actor. But that's the only bad experience I've ever had.
Which director came in and did it?
I'm trying to think. A guy. I can't remember. Isn't that awful? Can't remember. Maybe I don't.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe I don't want to remember.
Yeah, you maybe. If it's a bad experience, you don't want to remember, of course.
No, I don't remember my bad experiences, except I did tell you that one.
I wish I couldn't remember my bad experience. I've had so many ones lately, unfortunately.
Isn't it amazing how we think of those, and we've had so many wonderful experiences and we dwell on the bad experiences?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like,
that's what's happening to me at the moment. I've had so many people cut contact with me all of a sudden. I don't know why. And it seems to be this particular group of this particular fan base. They just suddenly just dropping like flies, just blocking me without even saying. I haven't even interacted with any of these people, and they've just suddenly blocked me. And I don't know what I've done wrong. I don't know. That if someone's spreading stuff about me, saying rumors about me, saying, "Oh yeah, you heard that Amber? She's a bit of a." Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
I know.
Well, it's their loss, not yours. It's a cliche, but it's so true. But I'm sorry that that's happening.
It's okay.
It's terrible. It brings us back to our junior high days and our high school days when we were kicked out of the clique for a minute.
Yeah, that's what happened to me in primary school. I was heavily bullied in primary school. I was heavily bullied in my first year of high school. Yeah, just horrific.
Painful, isn't it? I mean, and when we're so young and that stuff happens, oh my God. But we have to deal with it. We have to be aware of it so we can get over it. Yeah. But yeah, I've had
very painful.
I've had painful experiences.
Crazy.
Yeah. Terrible. We I've gone through my issues in life, and with different things, the way that I live my life, and there are people that don't agree with it or respect it. I don't. My other issue is, I don't drink. I used to, and it used to get me in a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. And got fired from some really good directing jobs, and all that stuff that's happened in my life, but I've risen above it and have come out the other side of it, but so I feel that I would take some of those moments back. So I wouldn't have ruined some of those experiences, but in ruining some of those experiences, it made me a much better person today, so I can share that with you.
Yeah. It is. I like talking about everything and just raising, because I'm now a mental health and autism ambassador. So I've pretty much turned a bad memory into bullying and mental health issues into a good thing. So I just, talk about it and stuff like that. So
great.
Very common.
I did a podcast for somebody about bullying recently. Yeah. Who could bully you? I can't even imagine.
Oh,
I mean that.
Oh my gosh. That's the nicest thing I've heard all day.
I mean that with all my heart.
I've been stuck at college on the 3rd floor doing work about acting unions and contracts and the amount of pay that actors get. Oh man. I come home to Susan Blue telling me who could bully me. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh man. I feel
That's
so
a lot
happy.
of serious stuff, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like we're always doing these written tasks and stuff on like Wednesdays. Like we have a portfolio that's meant to be due in by Christmas, and we have to talk about the relationships between different acting jobs, and then talk about their unions and their costs and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. But
You did that today?
yeah, but I spoke with my teacher, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, if you carry on going the way you're going, you'll probably end up getting an A star." I was like,
Oh,
"Oh my gosh," and
that's
that
so
actually made
good.
me feel better. I was like, "Oh my gosh," because I got a pretty meh grade in my first year, so I was like, "I want to get a good one this year."
That's great.
Yeah. So I really want to round this interview off.
Yes.
And then go through all the legal terms and conditions with you. I have to do this with every single actor. I was just wondering, have you got anything planned for the future?
No, I kind of do in the way that I want to do my own documentary, and we have this idea about two blonde girls in an RV traveling all across the country, and the kind of trouble they get into and the things they have to do. I just think it'd be a really great idea.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be sharing that.
Hey, what if I did a documentary on you after the Bill Scott one?
Yes.
That would actually be a really good one. Oh my gosh, like you voice directed so many people. I could just get like Rob Paulson, I could probably get Frank Welker for it.
Yes.
I could get tons of people and other voice directors too.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. The downside to it is time consuming. It took me about 16 months to finish this documentary.
Wow.
Bill Scott.
You know, Amber, I'm really open to new things. You know, somebody said, "So you're retired?" And I said, "Ooh, I hate that word." I said, "I'm not retired." You know, there's always, there's always the little kid inside of me, and I'm kind of resting a little bit right now. You know, and playing a lot of. I'm just an avid golfer. I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? But I just
doesn't sound weird to me. It just I sometimes watch golf on the TV. It seems like a professional sport.
Yeah, it really is. It's just so much fun. But I want to do some projects with Tanya, and we've got some good ideas coming up, and that we're kind of talking about. And so it's,
That's absolutely brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Where can you be found on social media? Do you have a website? I know you have Facebook because that's how I reached you. Do you have a website? Do you have any?
I let my website go, but I probably should do another one. I think some guy came in and bought Blupka, and it really upset me. I didn't know that they could, if a website is in touch for a while or whatever, they can buy your website.
Yeah, your domain it just gets sold.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So. Yeah, we plan on doing a new one, but everybody can reach me on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely put your
only
Facebook
if you say nice things.
Yeah, as I always say, be kind. It doesn't cost anything.
You know what? Kindness is king.
Yeah, definitely.
Kindness is king. Be kind.
Be kind. Be kind. Always be kind. It doesn't cost anything.
No. Makes you feel good too.
Yeah, it definitely does. Oh my gosh. Wow. What a strong note to end on. Definitely.
Yes. Kindness is king.
I agree. That is kindness. Did you say key or king?
King.
King. Well, it is the key as well, of course.
Kindness king.
Yeah. Right. So I'm gonna do a fake outro now. Please don't leave because Michael Bell left as soon as I did this fake outro, and I was like, I'm trying to get him back to say goodbye. I was like, oh, come back. So yeah, what can I say? I've had a ball talking to you.
Yeah, I've had an amazing time talking to you, Amber.
You're
very special. You're very you're unique and wonderful and beautiful and inside and out.
Oh, thank you, Susie. I appreciate your kind words.
I mean it.
You're beautiful as well. You're one of my favorite voice directors, and to talk to you today has just made me so happy. I can't tell you how happy it's made me.
This is what I'll do in my shirt. See my heart?
Yeah. Oh. I'll have to start doing that now when I'm talking. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. Boom, boom, boom.
That's
boom,
right.
boom. That's so cool. Oh, wow. Well, that was such an amazing interview. Thank you to those at home for watching. And we will see you around. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Susie here.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And
Bye. Bye, everyone.